Welcome to the Poke Chalet. As you know, I've been absent for the past month. Um, I've been suffering Pokemon fatigue, which means, I'm still running the Poke Chalet, still, churning, still selling Pokemon cards, still enjoying some aspects of our little hobby. But what I want to talk about right now is all the problems that we currently have in the industry, in the hobby. Everything that's both perceived problem and actual problem. There's all sorts of debate. What's a problem? What's not? I'm just going to name them. Let's do it. So, bots. Problem, maybe? Do bots exist? Yes. We seem to think, bots are the thing that's causing these scammy whammy people the background filled with stacks of ETBs. First of all, if you're a seller, if you're like a store, it's very unlikely that you would stack your ETBs like that. It's really an awkward flex. Resellers, like people who are like buying out product at retail stores, that's definitely a problem. So what that does is it takes away the opportunity for other people to buy it at regular price. And obviously, people want to make their margins. People want to charge more because they got lucky and showed up at Walmart or showed up at their local Pokemon vending machine and they were able to buy it out. Bots. So I guess that's scalpers. Scalpers is a big term. People use scalpers for everything, which people who've been in the hobby for a couple of years, like 5, 6, 7 years, that term comes and goes. Scalpers are definitely the boogeyman, and everyone is not a scalper. There's very few people who admit to being a scalper, but they absolutely. There's people who let's call it. It's a we see the videos. It's a scenario where someone is being shitty in the hobby. And that's sort of what scalper has become. Traditionally, it was those who bought out something and charged a higher price for it. Well, I mean, I buy from my distributor and I charge a higher price from it. And in theory, I'd love to think, hey, I'm buying up I'm buying up the local inventory of Obsidian Flame booster boxes so that I can sell them. So people come to me for them. Am I a scalper buying everything from distribution? Maybe. Uh, Obviously, easy target is the scalpers at Walmart who are throwing stuff into their cart. Those guys suck, and they're also a little bit bad people, like really negative people when it comes to just bystanders saying, "Hey, leave some for the kids" type stuff. Uh, let's talk about that. I'm going to be all over the place. This is going to be a messy video. Let's talk about people who say this is a kid's card game. That's a problem in the hobby. Now, it is, but adults are the ones who are spending the money. Adults are the ones who are buying for children. Adults, if you go to a vending show, all adults. There's very few children, and that's a problem in that there's not enough kids in the hobby. But these people who complain, oh, it's a kid's hobby. Oh, you're a grown man picking up kids' Pokemon cards. That's a problem. It's very negative, very gatekeeping, and it's the same people who have like a rack of Pokemon stuff behind them, or a binder, or it's okay if they do it because they were in it since they were a kid, or they were in it since they started to realize how cute Pokemon is, or whatever. Their love of Pokemon is better than your love of Pokemon, or that grown man's love of Pokemon. That's bad. Another problem in the hobby, the fact that the Pokemon Center queue is really bad in terms of kicking people for no reason. Now, obviously, it's really just picking up people who are sharing IP addresses on a sub network, people trying to order from the same probably area of town where their IP addresses are getting tagged for being over, too many clients accessing from the same IP. Bang, bam. It's a problem. It's a technical problem, but unfortunately, that's a really hard one to overcome. I've worked in the throttling industry for very sought after items, and it's a hard problem to throttle to a correct individual user. Firewalls appliances, things you spend millions of dollars with, they are not very good at throttling down to a single user, a single instance. So you end up with a lot of false positives, people getting kicked for no reason. And it's just Pokemon cards. It happens, this whole problem, people getting kicked and bumped and knocked out, it happens for more serious things. There's sometimes these applications that open up for people to immigrate to a certain country, and those have the same problem. Someone will be filling out their immigration form. They want to move to Canada. They want to move to the United States. They'll be filling out the form, and all of a sudden they'll get bumped out. And maybe they were a great applicant, but because they got bumped off, the pool filled up. All the applications, they closed off taking more, and they missed out. Missing out on a chance to immigrate to a new country is far more serious than missing out on a chance at buying a prismatic Pokemon Center ETB. So, just so you know, it's a problem. The fact that Pokemon Center puts up a queue all over social media, the queue is live and people go to it. And guess what? I've gone to that queue. I don't tend to buy the stuff that I can buy from distro. I really just buy a Pokemon Center ETB. I spoil myself in that manner, and I guess I like having the product. I'm one of the bad guys in the hobby who wants to have an ETB from Pokemon Center. It's people who buy too much, and it's people who have the means and spend. That's edging out people who have less means because they're able to buy up stuff, and those are bad guys. People who can buy up things in our hobby. It's bad when people have the ability, disposable income to spend. It's bad. The next thing we'll talk about in terms of the negativity in the hobby is, let's talk about YouTubers. You see a lot of YouTubers talking negatively about scalpers, about grown men fighting for Pokemon, about grown men saying grown men can buy Pokemon. There's a lot of negativity and a lot of gatekeeping that happens in the hobby. And I'm not a big fan of that, and here I am doing it. Gatekeeping. I'm gatekeeping. Hey. So, one of the things to know that in our hobby is there's a lot of things to complain about. I'm going to come up with more as I get through this video. Too many vendors. So, if you've gone to a card shows sell out. Like, vending tables sell out. There's a lot of people who want to sell it. Back in the lower times, we did this vending, my son and I. We vended for 3 solid days, and we had this booth, and it was great. It was fun. It was the first time we've ever done something like that together as father and son. And a lot of times, the vending, like that opportunity, you used to see kids vending tables. You used to see kids vending tables. And like 2 years ago, there would often be like kids who just got a table and are selling their cards. And that was admirable. But now, it's a bunch of grown men and women selling Pokemon cards, buying up all the tables, setting up their display, selling their sealed product, their wares they've acquired from the local Walmarts. Their slabs. Holy crap. Now, slabs are a problem in the industry. I've given up buying slabs from a store perspective. I do like, from a personal collections perspective, to have that one card that I really like in a hard case. Yes, I could put it in a friggin' metallic protector or a hard case myself, but I hate those things. Those things are horrible. Those metallic magnet protectors, another problem in the hobby. So, not really. Let's keep going. So, vendors are a problem. There's too many of them. And why is too many vendors a problem? That means there's a lot of competition. Well, that means prices will be competitive. Well, no. What you end up seeing is, let's say you had 100 vendors 3 years ago, 100 vendor tables. Now there's 300 vendor tables, and each one of those vendor tables wants inventory. And what that does is nobody wants an empty table. It pops up more people buying Pokemon as a business. And I'm one of those disgusting guys. 5 years ago, I'm like, this is an expensive hobby. If we're going to continue to operate in it, we're going to have to create a business and get in with distribution and buy and sell Pokemon. And like our focus, the first cards we've ever sold were reverse hollows. We've been in it for a long time, flipping singles, being an online place where you can find, unique cards. When people come to me with big cards, I say, hey, like sell that yourself, but give me all your other stuff. I'll do all the work and the other stuff. So that's a bad thing. There's too many vendors. And, as you know, I don't really vend tables. I do it once a year, maybe twice a year. But I think that's a problem. There's too many people who, oh, I'm going to get a table. Oh, I'm going to, turn my hobby into a business. And there I go gatekeeping again. I did it, but when you do it, it's bad. People do that a lot on YouTube. You hear that all the time. People saying, grown men battling over Pokemon cards, which is it's a problem, and it brings such a huge amount of negativity to our hobby, which is not something that adds. It doesn't help. What other is bad? So Canada Post here in Canada is shut down. They're in a labor strike, and I don't know if you guys realize that Canada Post, USPS in the States, it's such a huge part of our hobby. So many cards are always in the postal system. I would hesitate to guess there's a million cards in Canada Post. Well, yeah, a million cards in Canada Post moving around the country throughout the course of a year. Maybe even more throughout the course of a year. But it's a huge part of our hobby. That's how small value things get moved. Now, of course, there's couriers. Couriers aren't charging too much more than Canada Post, but the fact that you put a stamp on something and it's going to get across the country, that cannot be beat. So Canada Post being on strike is very bad for the hobby right now. Very, very bad. It's bad for business too. There's a lot of small businesses over in Canada that are currently suffering, but therefore we had to raise our prices on shipping from $5 bubble mailer to $8 bubble mailer. And I think we're eating a fair amount of the costs when I think most times sending a bubble mailer costs between $10 and $12. So we've started to eat it. We're hoping Canada Post will come back. I got packages that I've shipped with Canada Post that are stuck in the postal system. And there's a lot. I have maybe $6,000 worth of orders that are undelivered right now in Canada Post, which is not good. So what if everybody says, hey, you didn't deliver, I want to charge back? That could happen, right? So I'd be out $6,000 and Canada Post will go on to their business of starting again and it'll all get delivered and I will not see the product. So that could happen. I hope it doesn't. Canada Post, problem with the Pokemon card industry. What else? Now, the Walmart scalper buyers, I don't really see that as a new phenomenon. Like Walmarts have always been empty of Pokemon here in Canada. Up in Nova Scotia, even in the low times, there's been no cards. At most, you might see a couple of sleeves for $8.99 at Walmart or something, at the most. But I think Pokemon's approach to dumping as much product into Walmart, into Costco, I think that's not a good thing because it's keeping the price elevated. It means like if MSRP is $60, Mr. Scalper Scanner 5000 will go in and spend his $60 and want to make his little margin. I'm going to charge $66. Small little margin. So what's happened is you can't get it at MSRP. You ended up paying scalper price. If that same product was sent to stores, they could impose limits, which most stores nowadays do. They can impose limits, and they would have been better suited to balance out product. The problem is most parents are buying at Walmart and Target and where else? Costco. Not, from online sources like me or from vendors at card shows or from even full-on brick and mortar play stores. They're not sending as much product to those stores because people that they want to get to are in the Walmarts in the other places. So I think it's bad from a price perspective. It's probably good from a try to get product to people perspective, just because most of those people don't even shop in LGSs. Other problems. I'm just going to keep going, guys. Other problems in the industry. So distro. I mean, I love my distributor, and I'm not talking about my distributor in this case, but I've talked to other stores, and distros actually fight with their customers about who's their primary Play Store. Who is their primary Play Store? I know a store, a good contact of mine. He's having trouble now that he's probably one of the biggest stores for organized play, like a lot of players, and he has a couple of distributors, and they're fighting over who gets to be his organized play distributor. So that stinks. Like, that's bad. Let stores have two organized play. Why not? Get more product. I'm a strong believer in the LGS. It's important, but unfortunately, not everybody lives near one, and not everybody wants to drive a half an hour to an hour when stuff is available online, or when stuff you can get stuff at your little flea market 10 minutes away, right? Not everybody can go to the LGS, but it's an important aspect. So maybe online sellers like myself are a problem too, because we sort of take away from we become hidden. A lot of the people in the know to go to me or to the other guy or the thing if they want to get their case of booster boxes at a decent price. They might do that. They go into the LGS, they're not going to get a good price. Or they go on eBay and they're going to see, crazy market prices influenced by the United States, and they're not going to get it. That's another problem. So we're all subject to USA prices. Distro changes their price based on market. I charge single prices based on TCG Player Market, which is a US only market. All my prices are dictated by the United States. Packs, old stuff, new stuff, singles, slabs, all US influenced. And the United States has advantages that Canada doesn't have from shipping perspective, from how cheap they get their product from distro, from the accessibility of cards. I mean, my inventory of singles is super low right now. And it's whatever. That's a me problem, not a Pokemon problem. Let's keep going. Now, chargebacks, you saw that's a huge problem. Now, for stores, for people who are running businesses, they're getting charged back by scammers. People will buy something. I have a video where I show the picture of a person who came and scammed me, did a chargeback. Got me for a couple of booster boxes of what's it called? Paradox Rift. Got me for some other things that I had here. They were nice when they were here. They paid with credit card and chargeback. The same thing that's what's his name? Pokevault is dealing with down in the States. They identified that there was a serial chargeback scammer, and they finally, got together, dotted the I's and T's, and are going after him. That's awesome. But it's a problem, right? They're taking away from product. They're probably vending at a table or Facebook Marketplace and selling you let's call it stolen, fraudulently acquired product. They're doing that. So that's bad. It's bad for me. It sucks for me. It's bad for the industry. It's bad for you because, you're getting that negative karma with that product. I'm telling you. Facebook Marketplace, another bad guy. Now, the Facebook groups are interesting. I won't say that they're the worst things in the world, but Marketplace is like a festering pile of potential problems. It's everything from stolen goods showing up on Marketplace. I mean, we had this thing here in Canada where it was definitely stolen material. They were getting pre-released Crown Zenith stuff before we were getting it from distro, like a month prior. Stolen product is a bad thing, and it was showing up on Facebook Marketplace, and it was authentic. These are thieves, right? They were also selling those fake 151 booster boxes, so they're not trusted vendors. But that's a bad thing too. Facebook Marketplace is a really risky place, and I personally used to advertise there. I would put, this is in the low times, try to get myself in front of as many people as possible. I have the reputation now where I'm known enough so that I don't need to worry about Facebook Marketplace, but I used to put product on Facebook Marketplace all the time. Collection boxes. I used to advertise there, and then once people knew I existed, voila, I became their guy. Stopped using Facebook Marketplace. It's not a great. It's a cesspool. A lot of people are scammed on there, so we've let's talk about that. So next is scammers. Scammers are people who are taking your money and promising you to ship you a card and never shipping it. Bad. These are bad. These are like, these guys, the scammers, have been around. There's this concept as well of people who are in the hobby, and this is something to be careful going forward, especially in the next couple of 6 to 12 months. Exit scammers. These are people who've built up a reputation over the past 6 months. I'm selling this, I'm selling that. So I got a +1 here from Joe Super Collector. I got a +1 here from Mary, the cutie collector. And here's my position. That person has lots of reputation, really has been seen around a lot. The exit scam. This is a case where they'll do a giant I'm trusted sale. They will sell a lot, hundreds and hundreds of dollars they will accept from people, and then delete Facebook, disappear, gone. The exit scam exists, and that's bad for the hobby. I'm trying to think, if you know of more things that are negative in the hobby, specifically old YouTubers who talk about Pokemon, write in the comments negative things that you know about our Pokemon collecting hobby. People who ship conditioned cards, calling it near mint when it's obviously light play, calling it MP when it's obviously damaged. If there's a crease and a chunk missing from it, it's damaged. What else can we talk about? The negativity of the hobby is people assuming they're the good ones and everyone else is not. That is not the way to go. I fall into this sometimes. I'm a trustworthy online retailer of Pokemon. So I try really hard to be, to understanding is that everyone is feeling this negativity, and there's so much of it. There's all these things that are really prevalent right now, and it is more now than it has been in the past. There's been times in the past where scammers are really, really active. There's been times in the past where scalping was really bad, but I don't think we've seen any time where the market was so high and it's attracting such great people and dubious people at the same time, and changing so much from how it traditionally was. So change is the bad guy here. It's hard to deal with, but we're all dealing with it, and we have to make sure that when we're facing it, we're dealing. So I hope you guys understood all of these comments and it wasn't just too much verbal diarrhea about the negativity that's in the hobby. And that's why I took a break. I said to myself, I'd love to do more videos. I'd love to be, the Pokemon Pokatuber, but honestly, there's been so much weight down. You know, other stuff in my life, of course, like there's other stuff is causing pressure, but there's been so much negativity that I had to take a break from it. And I still read a lot about it, and I still experienced, you know, I was doing it in secret, reading about it, not doing the scamming. So there's a lot of that stress and that things that's weighing on everybody. You can see it in the comments. You can see it in people's discussions. I'm never going to buy from an LGS again. They're charging market, or there's all this stuff, and that's probably one of my bigger. Anyway, read a lot about it. So with this negativity, I encourage you to put it behind you. I encourage you to look at it and say, okay, this is new. This is a new world. And take some advice that other YouTubers are giving as well, is focus on things, really focus hard on things that are for you, that you like. You don't have to chase packs. You don't have to chase the newest thing. You don't have to rip packs. You don't have to buy slabs. You don't have to get it graded. You know what you have to do? Spend time enjoying it. Don't so much spend time complaining about it. Be thankful for the things that you do achieve. I collected this. I got some cards. That's what you got to do. You got to try to be very positive in order to get out of this funk. And that's currently what I'm doing. I am trying to figure out, how do I get out of the funk? And I really hope that I can. I really enjoy the Poke Chalet. I like doing it. It scratches the itch of my particular flavor of neurodiversity, where I can run a business in absolute chaos, which, I mean, people come in here and they're like, I don't know how he does it. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video, or not. Comment down below some of the things that I missed that are really bad in the hobby that you wish were fixed. Oh, I forgot. Pumping and dumping. That's another one. That's a new one. It's newish. It's always been done a little bit, but it's happening like almost every week, something new. And thanks.